Hey, this is Ashley. Oh, this looks great. Couple things I spotted for improvements. Yeah, overall it's looking great, very impressive. I think that the arrow is lost here, and I think a good way to get it back would be if there was a light that was casting a shadow there. Um, the other thing that's going on is the texture on this is swimming. So let's look at those two issues. Did I respond to you about motion blur? Yeah, I mean the thing is when you animate the camera in like a step tangent type, it like calls that like a really fast movement, so it blurs. So I think the motion blur does look good, and I think what you did is fine trimming out those frames. I mean, the other way to do it is to just have multiple cameras and then render out, camera one, this frame to that frame, camera two, that frame to that frame, etc., etc., and then edit them together. Um, but that's the challenge with that is then you can't just hit the render button and go to sleep. So, if you could have a few extra, one thing they do in animation actually professionally is they always have what they call like a pre-roll and a post-roll in the shots. Like they always have extra frames at either end that they don't think they're going to use. I mean, it would solve this problem, but it also solves other problems, like when they're adding dynamics, they need like some lead-in frames and stuff like that. So also, if the editor decides they want a few frames more or on either end, they have that option. So it's always a good idea to have extra frames on every shot, anyway. But yeah, the only way to avoid it is to have separate cameras rather than animating the camera with a step tangent type. So the material on the vest here. Let me just turn off everything. There we go. So this is a procedural leather texture, and make sure that's selected, and let's clear this and show up the downstream connections. So, hmm, I thought that what I would find is that it had a 3D texture placement node on it, but it doesn't. Um, just trying to figure out. That doesn't show anything. Um, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Also, is there any other maps on here? No. Well, I thought what I was going to find was that it had a 3D texture placement node on it, but because it looks like she's sort of moving through the texture. Um, Let me just render out a little bit here. What's your camera here? Perspective. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Okay, and I'll just do like this region here. And let's render that region. Oh, it's still got motion blur on. It's going to slow things down a little bit. It's alright. I'm not really fond of this procedural texture anyway, so a good solution would be to use a image texture instead. It'll probably look better anyway. But oh, that's rendering slowly. All right, let's call that enough. Okay, and then I just want to go forward one frame. Um, and let's keep this image. What I'm trying to do is see if this texture is moving with her or not. Because it looked like in the video that it wasn't. I probably should have turned the quality down because this is a long time to test. I imagine this took a very long time to render your whole sequence. Okay. So what I'm seeing is that the body is moving, but the texture doesn't seem to be moving with it. Like they see these subtle changes to it, but most of those dots are staying in the same place. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of texture resolution here too. So there's two possible solutions. Well, three possible solutions I would say is replace the texture um, with an image. Number two is to create a texture reference object. I think will help. I'm not sure. And the third is to convert the material to a file texture. If I can remember how to do that. I think what we do is I select the shirt and shift select this vest material, and then it's not there. Is it? I haven't done this lately. Convert to file texture. It says Maya software, but I don't see why that would matter. Options and let's do much bigger. Let's do like 248 by 2048, and I guess JPEG. Okay, convert and close. So now we'll take that procedural texture and turn it into a file texture. Now you can better able to show those spots, and now they are moving with her. So if you don't want to get an actual image texture, that you download a picture of a leather like you've done for this, which, like I said, I think would be better. You can convert this to a file texture. I'm pretty sure that's going to solve the problem of that sliding around. I think it just has to do with the way that procedural leather works. I thought I would find a 3D texture placement node where it's projected on and it's like sort of moving through the projection, but I didn't see that. So, um, yeah, that will be the solution for that. Oh yeah, then I was just saying, do you do your lights have shadows turned on or where's shadows? Sky dome, cast volumetric shadows, cast shadows. That one does. Um, and that one does. So these do, but maybe you just want to like. You seem to have a lot of lights. I'm surprised you have. Seems like you have two sky dome lights. Probably usually just want one. Um, well, they do seem to be casting shadows. So, but what I would do is just cheat and do another light. Um, you know, here somewhere that is specifically. Why is that? Yeah. So just some other. I don't know, like an area light. Oh, it's a little. It's taking time to update because I have it in lit mode. There it is. Let me just go to textured mode so it's not struggling so much. Okay, that's better. Anyway, I, maybe you'll just link it to these two objects. So I'll just turn off illuminance by default, and then let's call this target, and call this. It's bow 2 rigged colon arrow. Okay. Um, and then in light linking. Oh wait, yeah, I guess we can. We should be able to select this and this. Whoops. Wait, let's select. I just did up arrow to select that arrow. Shift select that and shift select not that. The light. The undo cue is turned off. That's interesting. Um. Oh, I keep so. I just turned it back on. Oh, I didn't hit save. And let's turn on everything and select this light. Okay, and then we can do make light links. Okay, and just to check, I think that's area light one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, you can see it just as it's only connected to the target, and then wherever this thing is, it's parented under some stuff. But I guess it's that one, that group. Okay. And then let's just see if that worked. Yeah, and just make sure that. Oh, maybe I'll up the intensity to, I don't know, 500, and just to make sure it's working. Shadows. Use ray trace shadows. Okay. Render snapshot. Camera one. Let's turn down the quality for this test. Oh, it's not that high. Jeez. Okay. Well, I'll see if my idea worked. The idea is that light is only lighting the target and the arrow. It's probably too bright, and nothing else. And it should be casting a shadow, which makes it easier to see that arrow. I hope. I'm sure not seeing a shadow. My idea is that was that the arrow would stand out more if you could see its shadow cast on there, and I see nothing. Um, okay, maybe kind of pointing it down more, scaling it up a bit, and just to make sure it's working, I'm just gonna crank up the intensity. Um, okay, well, it's definitely lighting it. I can see that. Um, but I'm really not seeing the shadow. Um, okay, let's turn the. Obviously, that's way too bright. Let's turn the. Let's turn this down to like 250 total, and we've got ray trace shadows on. I think that I'd like to try to unlink this from other lights. Um, and this is the target, and let's not have it lit by anything else but just that area light. Really not seeing a shadow. Um, let's try a different light type. So what if we tried um, directional light or something? See if that has any difference. Too bright. Let's just try one. Oh, okay, now I'm seeing it. Yeah, so maybe use a directional light. That was sort of what I was going for. Um, I mean, area lights should catch shadows too, so I don't know what the deal was, but maybe it was too soft of a shadow or something. But anyway, this was what I was going for, which is this idea that so as the arrow comes in, you'll see this shadow cast here, and the shadow will kind of move with it, and then it'll really help you see where the arrow hits. So anyway, a long-winded way of explaining that idea.